Okay, so I was already thinking when you asked the question, like, how much time do we have for this one? So I think it's nothing but the grace of God that some of us have survived this long. Because if I look at the type of environment we are operating in, when we talk about conducive, it has gotten slightly better, but not necessarily conducive. And I'll explain why.
Yeah.
So entrepreneurship in my journey is a calling. It's a profession. It's not something I had to do because I lost a job or because I was retrenched, etc. It's something I chose to do.
Yes.
Yes. For many, they don't have that option. They don't have that privilege to say, let me become an entrepreneur and create solutions, because life didn't work out. And most of the people that are now forced to look at entrepreneurship as a pathway to livelihood are either dropouts, unemployed, retrenched, or unemployable.
Yes.
Now that's already distress.
Yes.
To understand, you cannot start a business because you hate your boss or you hate your previous employer. You start a business. An entrepreneur starts an enterprise to solve a problem. That's what entrepreneurship is. It's not duplication to do what 10 people are doing. Entrepreneurship in essence, entrepreneur, to enterprise, to be an entrepreneur, is to find a problem, create a solution, commercialize that solution, and take it to the ones that have a problem, and it becomes a solution to the users. So I think we need first to be clear on entrepreneurship and then clarity on SME development. Now, I've seen that most of the time we're talking about SME development. Register a business, start a business, but that's not entrepreneurship.
I see. Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
You can start 10 businesses every day, but you haven't been an entrepreneur.
Until you solve a problem.
Until a problem is solved.
I see.
Do you understand? So there must be a problem, there must be an innovation, meaning you create a solution to the problem, and then you can start a business to obviously to manage that.
Okay.
Yes. I personally don't believe everybody needs to run a business.
Yeah.
I think it's a catastrophe. What we need in this country is serious industrial development. Industries in housing, industries in poultry development, poultry farming, industries in manufacturing, industries in, and then those industries, they absorb the workforce. And as you are working, when you are earning, obviously your emotions are changing, your ambitions change, and over time you realize, I think I can create a solution here. Then your mindset becomes a founder mindset. Then you can now pursue an enterprise as a solution provider.
Very good, very good. Now here in Namibia, we are sitting with a huge problem in terms of housing. And you've just recently launched a new initiative to tackle that problem from an entrepreneurship angle.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Thank you. So before I explain about Yambuka Housing, I also sit at the intersection of a lot of information. So I serve on boards. I'm an employer. I was born in Gamienta in Karutura. I advise trusts. I'm so in the mix of understanding the problem that as an entrepreneur, it is second nature to create a solution or an option to the pathway. So our problem in Namibia for housing is not really a housing problem. It's a context. Ons moet verstaan wat gaan aan.
Okay.
First of all, if you look at Namibia, being a 90% plus state of Christians, I mean, if I'm going to do a business now in Saudi Arabia, there's no way I can ignore the fact that they are Muslim. It's a Muslim nation. So even foreign investors looking at Namibia, this religion matters. And nowhere in the Bible does it say, me and my sheikh, I will serve the Lord. Joshua 24 verse 15 says, as for me and my house, I will serve the Lord. Okay, now in Namibia, it's not even a house problem. It's a shelter. Now we even park the religion and we talk about humanity. The Maslow hierarchy of needs. Housing is not a need. Shelter is a need. Housing is actually a commodity. You can live in a tent. If you're a hunter-gatherer, the people in the sun,
Yeah.
they don't say they don't have houses.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have what that you think is a shack,
Yeah.
to them is a home.
Yeah.
So our problem is we've commercialized a basic need.
Yes. Yes.
Or
Yeah.
ghetto.
Yeah.
You can't commercialize housing. You cannot talk about housing through commercial sector. Banks cannot solve, for example, the housing problem
Yeah.
because it's a basic need.
Yeah.
Now Yambuka is solving a need or providing an option to fulfill a basic need,
Okay.
which is shelter.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So we designed, we innovated, we are entrepreneurs. We designed 2 homes, entry level, because we want to serve the low income market.
Okay.
Somebody can say 120 is too expensive. My question is, as opposed to what? Do you understand? Somebody can say prefabricated material are not good for shelter. And you want to convince me a shack is? There's no insulation. There's no dignity. There's no ventilation. There's no fire resistance. Are you going to convince me that that is a better option and you normalize that? I don't want to be part of that equation, sorry.
Okay.
So we created Yambuka, and it's really just to solve a problem.
Yes.
We have a shelter problem, which has now become a housing crisis.
Yes.
You see, the crisis is not shelter. The crisis is housing.
Yes.
The shelter is a basic need.
Yeah.
It must be met.
Yes.
Do you understand?
I understand.
And we are here for that, and we are ready. The house is constructed within 2 days.
Wow.
The base, yes, because we assemble it.
Yeah.
And the base is a week. So we need your site for 14 days to start and to finish and to clear it. What you see there at Hwama was done within 14 days.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. And you introduced it this weekend.
We introduced it last Wednesday.
Last
We had an
Wednesday.
engagement with some media houses
Uh-huh.
to invite the public, because I'm not sitting here in ignorance. I'm not ignorant to the reality that this is not the first effort
Yes.
over the past 35 years.
Yes.
I've personally attended handovers, personally,
Yes.
in different capacities. I go to a handover in Khobabes, some company will come and say, here's a handover, this is what's possible. I'm not ignorant to the strongholds that are limiting people from accessing these options. So, and I'm also sensitive to people that are suffering. We left that site almost midnight on Saturday. Some were saying, let's rather sleep here. So it's just for show. Can we rather just sleep here for one night while you figure out the details? It's a lot of frustration.
Yeah.
So I know that it's not a walk in the park, but I trust that the demand that we have seen, we had over 3,000 people.
On Saturday?
Yes.
Wow.
Now, our strategy was, let's test the product. Let's test the market for appetite.
Yes. Yes.
Do you want? Do you like? Can you afford? If you can afford, would you like to buy?
Yes.
Yes. Now it's a commodity.
Yes.
But the need is shelter.
Yes.
Then you buy it.
So, apart from the expected demand, which is really mind blowing when you get to look at it realistically, how has the reception been from the powers that be, from government, especially local government?
Okay, it's too early to say, but I haven't had formal resistance yet.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm actually very grateful. If you listen to the language of our president, once she says we are too few
Yeah.
to be poor,
Yes.
and Yambuka believes in that. That is why there's a solution.
Yeah.
And her legacy is to build 50,000 houses. It's actually from the manifesto when she was campaigning.
Yeah.
Her manifesto was clear.
Yeah.
I in my term will deliver 50,000 housing units.
Yeah.
Now, how would that happen if there's no suppliers of the housing units?
Yes,
Do you
yes.
understand? So we are speaking into that vision.
Yes.
I'm a supporter of
Yes.
that vision,
Yes.
and I will raise my hand up anytime. And it's just time to close the gaps.
Yeah.
Yes. So I want to invite the local authorities to actually calm down. There's no stress. We just need to change this bylaw by next week, Tuesday. And yes, it can be done.
Can it be done?
Yes, it's a special council meeting.
Uh-huh.
You need a special council meeting that tables the motion and it can be adopted and everybody wins. The councillors win, God wins, government wins, people win, Namibia wins. That's all.
I agree with you, but the reason why I'm skeptical, we've had the Habitat Center in Karatura researching alternative building materials and methods for more than 30 years. There's so much that has been documented and proven what can work. And yet none of those solutions have been adopted in all this time since independence. So there is a problem somewhere.
It's a mindset, Ogeto. It's not a physical problem. And we must speak to the mindset.
I see.
It's a mindset you can't touch, my brother. I spoke earlier of strongholds.
Yes.
Every CEO has a cleaner that works for them.
Yes.
And the cleaner stays in a shack.
Yes.
Every manager, be it in a parastatal, has got a gardener. Everybody has used taxi. They can't afford homes, or they can't afford upmarket homes. They must be given the opportunity to buy their shelter
Yes.
and to have a dignified life. It's not even something to debate. If we need to have a national mindset transformation campaign, let's do that. But habitat is not the problem. It's a mindset.
Okay.
Yeah, the Namib Mills strike is after independence is the biggest strike ever happened in our country, and it is also just one of those things of which the employers got used to, that people, when they are on a strike and they are not getting salaries, at some point they will be able to give up. But that just demonstrated that people can also get enough where they can be able to draw a line. Because if our forefathers went into a liberation and knowingly that when you go to war, there is only two things which happen in a war, is to kill or to get killed.
Yeah.
And in this case, we also draw a line also with Namib Mills that people were not afraid to lose their jobs. But what we wanted to achieve there is economic freedom. And as we speak now, I can be able to tell you that on an average, our people at Namib Mills, on an average, will be able to say that the lowest, we will be able to say it was about 26% of what they got, what we were fighting for. And making that achievement, it is one of the highlight of our existence, and it's one of the reason why we started this union, that those are the things those are the changes we would like to bring to our people.
Absolutely. How do you strike a balance between fighting for your members, but not in a manner that could also collapse their employer? Because if the demands are unrealistic, for example, and the company succumbs to that pressure, the end result could be that the company will close down, and then your members are sent home completely.
Yeah, no, if you look at currently now, Nareto it's in close to about 400 companies across the country, and we negotiate almost on a daily basis. We are negotiating with 3 or 4 companies on a daily basis across the country. But you also realize that majority of the in a year, let me be just to shorten it, in a year, you might be able to have that, we might have 1 or 2 strikes only out of that number of employers. So what it means is that a lot of employers, we are actually making good progress. We are rehabilitating them, and they are starting to also be able to understand that having employees which you are making good profits, but you are not, the employees are not enjoying part of that profit.
Yeah.
We are trying to be able to tell them that that one is a recipe for disaster, and in invitation to Nareto that they will deliver for you chest pains. So with that said is that when we go to a company, we look at what are the numbers of that company, in which range they can be able to be. And when we are asking, we strike the balance that at the end of the day, we also understand that the company needs to be sustainable for it to be able to continue creating jobs. And we don't go there and negotiate that if the company is making $100, we want that $100, then we will end up living hand to mouth. No, but we want a fair share from that $100. So that is how we strike the balance.
Yeah, you spoke about Nareto being the fastest growing union at the moment in the country. Do you think that rise is also owed to the current state of unions in our country? Because I remember many years ago when we were new, younger journalists, you know, we were every day running to strikes and demonstrations, unions leading from the front, really proper unionists whose only interest were to fight for the people. And we barely see that lately. Do you think Nareto has then seen that gap and sort of captured it?
No, you see, before I started this union, I was already a unionist under the Mine Workers Union of Namibia. And during that time, when we were at Mine Workers Union of Namibia, the leadership under the mine workers really gave us a very good education. They sent us to be able to understand the economics and all of that. And through those education which we were provided through that process, then I took up that initiative and I saw the gap in the market. And I'm exploiting that a lot of the leadership in the union is that instead of helping the people which are suffering, but the leadership are helping themselves, that they end up getting in bed with the capitalist. And the moment unionists, they are finding themselves in bed with capitalists, the people which they were supposed to be fighting, and they become too friendly and accepting bribes and all of these things. Those are the things which when they capture you, you cannot fight them. But for us, we deliberately opted to be on the side of the poor and fight for the poor. And when you are doing that, at the end of the day, as a unionist, there is only two things involved when you are a unionist. To be loved by the employers, then you are betraying your members, or to be hated by the employers, then your members are happy. And as we chose the last one, that it is better for me, for those capitalists to hate me, but my people are happy because I'm delivering for them what they want. And that is how union is supposed to operate. But the majority of unionists in our space now is that they are going there, getting in bed, they get convinced. During the night, they are sitting with employers and getting convinced, receiving brown envelopes. And during the day, they are here, viva, viva to the workers and lying to the workers. And go sign in this current thing. Imagine an employee who's earning 4,000 and you are signing 3% for this person, which is 120 or so. When will this person's life will be able to change when you are signing this 3% for an employee, while this company is running away with millions. So we saw that gap, and we are exploiting that.
We haven't experienced such a thing. I think the ground, the level has been, the ground field has been leveled for us by, those traditional unions that have not done quite well. And it's much easier. I mean, employees are just interested in their interests. They don't care about political colors and all those things. They just want whoever can represent them better. But of course, we are proudly a child of the AR movement, of course, but the AR movement has nothing to do with what we do and our membership and how we negotiate and any other of those sort.
Yeah.
The leadership of AR is strictly leadership of AR, RU, strictly RU. Probably just casual conversation that maybe, we got this one right, we won this one or something, but they have no influence on how we do our things and how we run our things. They are two different entities.
Yeah. Explain the symbiotic relationship between the two entities. NUNW, for example, is just called an affiliate of SWAPO. And during elective times, the union also gets represented at Congress, and it supplies members into the port who can eventually go to, delegates, as a matter of fact, who can end up going to Parliament. So the relationship is quite defined between those two. In your case, how does it look like?
No. Our relationship is clearly defined. Of course, we are, like we've indicated, that we are a child of the AR movement, but not in terms of campaigning, political aspects, not to influence our members to vote for the AR movement. They have their rights.
Yeah.
Article 21, which give birth, to or give us power to go and campaign and look for members, is the same article that gives power to the employees to choose which political party to affiliate to.
Yeah.
So we strictly own them as members of the AR of the Revolutionary Union, not of the AR movement. So the two, in terms of Article 21 of the Namibian Constitution, is very, very clear. It's defined.
Yeah.
In terms of the leadership of the Revolutionary Union, of course, they are guidelines with regards to the affiliation to the movement itself.
Mm-hmm.
I think you must also understand that, of course, I'm not a spokesperson of the AR movement, but there is a difference between the AR, the political party, and the AR movement, of course.
Yeah. When I'm asking about this, these things, Julius, is also, we know, for example, it's public information that last year you sought to be elected to the seat of Windhoek as a councillor for AR movement. Of course, that didn't happen, but those blurry lines, in the morning, Mr. Natangwe is a unionist. In the evening, he's a politician of the AR movement.
Yeah, no. Look, you must understand, Toivo, that being a unionist does not cease your rights to political affiliations. It doesn't. All you need to do is represent your members very well, and they must be happy with you. If they are not happy with how you represent them, they have the avenue to kick you out of their structures. So I represented, or I stood, contested as an AR representative. If, as under my constitutional rights, as enshrined in Article 21 of the Namibian Constitution, I do have them still, and I will still have them until such is amended. But that doesn't mean that I forgo representing my members well. And maybe also the fortunate thing is that we don't have the political power. Of course, the AR movement doesn't have the political power to say we are able to influence here and there. And also maybe the fact that we are still at the formative stage as the Revolutionary Union. We don't owe anyone favor. We are not owed favors by anyone. So we go and represent our members as much as we can and as best as we can. Like I've indicated, those issues of employee share scheme, we don't hear them more often in Namibia. No. Issues of 13% salary increment, we don't hear them more often. That's what employees want. They don't want any other thing. How you do with your affiliations and whatnot strictly remain as your right, of course.
The fact that you are coming from an activist background, I know, for example, some years ago, there was a lady who was allegedly stripped naked by her employer here at Chinatown, and you really fought for that lady to the extent that she was paid eventually through the court processes more than 200,000. Does that kind of background help you to settle in the union movement space?
Yeah, it does, of course. But remember, at that time, and that's exactly what gave birth to the registration of the Revolutionary Union, because as activists, we were faced with a lot of challenges that had to do with labor-related issues. And then we realized that these issues will never solve them if you don't have a formal structure that can have the right to go and represent. All you do is make noise in the street, and many a time protest this, protest that, but you are not entering the boardrooms to go and negotiate. That's where the whole thing take place. So we have learned from that angle, of course, but I think we are even getting more sharpened by the fact that we are now able to, attend, stakeholder engagements with the Labor Commissioner. You are open to go and, consult with the Labor Commissioner or raise an issue. You are open. You can now read the Labor Act, knowing that you have to represent the employees. You are getting sharpened better. But the other ones, of course, has still instilled those activism in us, and we remain activists when necessary in those boardrooms. We throw bottles of water. So it also helps you in terms of negotiations.
Yeah. Before we go for a small break, are you at liberty to tell us who are the, it cannot be a secret, who are some of the organizations where you have members, where you have bargaining agreements?
Yeah, we can confidently say that we have members at operating at NAMDEB, operating at Rosing, operating at Swakop Uranium, operating at various municipalities. We have members all over the place. We're all over the place. We have now entered the space, and we are happy to be, representing those members. Yeah.
Absolutely.